Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to another Mortgage Coach weekly coaching call. Every Tuesday morning, 9 o'clock Pacific, we are here to connect as a community of like-minded mortgage professionals. We're here to learn the ideas that are working on the street, in the trenches right now, today, and to get focused on the week ahead. My name is Dave Savage. I am the CEO and founder of Mortgage Coach. It's great to be here. If there's anyone new to the community, please raise your hand just so I have a feeling, or have a feeling as to how many first-time Mortgage Coach members are on the call today. So again, raise your hand. Also, I urge you guys all to connect with me via LinkedIn, Facebook. I assume everybody has liked Mortgage Coach on Facebook. That's where we're sharing a lot of content, updates. And again, if you want to be a guest on a call like this, just email me at dave@mortgagecoach. I'm here to support you as a community. Again, to ask questions, you see where the number 1 is right there? Raise your hand. So again, if you are new, raise your hand so I know how many new people we have on the call today. So far, it doesn't look like anybody brand new is on. The number 2 area, you can do kind of shout-outs. I usually don't bring questions from the call in that area. And today, for the second half of the call, I'm going to be mobile, so I won't even be able to see that in there. And so the only way you'll be able to ask a question is if you raise your hand and we bring you in. Again, participate. The more participation in these calls, the more value for everybody. I also want to remind everybody that we do record these calls. So as a Mortgage Coach member, go to mortgagecoach.com, log in with your unique password and user ID, and access these calls. I want to highlight and put a big shout out and thank you to Cindy Ertman and Ron Quintero. Ron, who was the co-host last week, interviewed Cindy Ertman, mortgage industry Hall of Famer, leader of an organization, recruiter, branch manager, and mega producer, and just wonderful woman and good friend. So if you missed that call from Cindy Ertman last week, don't miss it. Go check it out. So for the agenda today, I'm going to have just some very brief opening thoughts, and then I'm going to bring in a first-time guest to the Mortgage Coach community, Mr. Bill Glenn, top realtor. Bill, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's good to have you, my friend, and looking forward to our first interview together.
So am I. Can't wait to share with your people what we have for them and what we've shared with several mortgage folks throughout the country.
Fantastic. So before we do that, my opening thoughts are really straightforward. I mean, it hit me hard this morning when I read that we lost Stephen Covey yesterday. All that I can really say is early in my career, that book was one of the first books that really made a difference to me, and one of the first authors, quote-unquote, thought leaders that really impacted me. I mean, I can only think of 3, maybe 4 thought leaders, authors, people that I've read their work that have impacted me more in who I am today than Stephen Covey. So I urge us all to reflect on a few things for the remainder of the week. One, this habit 9, this is kind of post the 7 habits, but I think he obviously accomplished this one. So leaving the world better than when we got here, mission accomplished. And just a quick reminder on the 7 habits of success. Be proactive. I mean, come on, as mortgage professionals, there's nothing that distinguishes the best of the best than just being proactive. Begin with the end in mind. Not easy to do, even for the best of the best. But when we do that, we're all better off. Put first things first. Again, another simple concept. Makes total sense. It's the truth. Not easy to do. Think win-win. For me, that just comes natural. For many, it does come natural. For some, it doesn't. For those who it doesn't come natural for, go the other way, guys. Plenty of people to do business with than people that are wired anything less than win-win. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Again, another tough one, but simple one, and the truth in life. Synergize means so many things, but I think you guys all get it. Look for the 1 + 1 = 3 opportunities in your marketplace. And last, and certainly not least, sharpen the saw, read books, you know, constantly work on yourself from every way possible. So again, just great 7 laws of success. If you haven't read Stephen Covey's book, I urge you to buy it and read it. And, you know, let's spend a week thinking about Stephen Covey. We lost a great leader this week. So with that said, Bill, you know, how do you like going on the heels of Stephen Covey? It's a pretty good stage to share, I think. You know, I tell everybody the way I met Bill. I met him at a Fairway annual sales rally. And, you know, I can only speak for myself, but I hold Fairway a very high esteem in this industry. You know, there are hundreds, even thousands of companies, but there's only a few Fairway mortgages. Companies that are not only incredibly successful financially, but companies that are incredibly successful from a values perspective, from a standards perspective, from an integrity perspective. So the fact that you were a speaker at that event, you know, that made a big difference right away. I was like, who is this guy? I don't know him. And he's here speaking at a Fairway event. And then I got a chance to know him. You know, we got to chit-chat, you know, before he spoke. And what a great guy. I mean, you know, local football coach, you know, and you can tell he's not only one of those, you know, I'm a assistant to, you know, I was head coach to my kid's soccer team, but this guy is a coach. I mean, he could probably be coaching in the pros if he wanted. You could just tell his gift of influence, his wisdom, just one of those really special coaches, one of those special leaders. And he also happens to be a very, very successful real estate agent. Bill, real quick, just give everybody a feel for what market you're in and how many transactions you do annually, and just a little bit about your practice so they can respect you as a realtor.
Sure. Thanks so much, Dave. First of all, this happens often, Dave, so don't feel bad, but my name is actually Glenville. The last name is... And
that's great. I knew I was going to do that.
Well, that's cool. I mean, you have it right everywhere else, but just so the people know, for me, it is Glenville. And I'm based in the Indianapolis market. I have very briefly got in the real estate business at 19. I either had to sell or starve. And at the age of 23, I purchased a real estate franchise. At the age of 37, I sold it. We took that franchise from 16 agents to 157 agents, 600,000 revenues to over 9 million. And I sold everything in 2007 and built my real estate company based on the presentations and the content that I deliver to real estate agents and LOs all around the world, or all around the nation. I haven't been out of the nation yet. I currently still sell real estate as I also speak. We roughly do 100 transactions a year. In 2008, after I'd sold my franchise and focused totally on sales, we sold 236 homes in a 12-month period. So, you know, basically, you know, that's what I do. That's what I've done. And my passion now is to help real estate agents go from initial meeting to closing a sale in a shorter amount of time, and is to help loan originators become more valued by agents, and to help loan originators, you know, double their business, and more importantly, double their real estate business. I try to specialize in helping originators and the people that are on our call understand how to get in the hearts and minds of real estate agents. And that's what we're going to touch on today in our brief webinar.
Nice. Well, guys, we all know in today's market there is a tremendous refi wave going on, which means rates are low. It means that we're doing a lot of refinances. It means that a lot of loan officers aren't out there supporting and calling on purchase business on realtors. So, you know, my recommendation to everybody, and you know, you're hearing it from me, you're hearing it from your sales manager, you're hearing it from your CEO, you know, you're hearing it in your mind when you go to sleep going, I need to do better. Well, guys, you do need to do better. We are not going to have low rates forever, and we need to be strategic. That means you need to have a healthy real estate purchase business focus. So I thought this call was important. I thought having Glenn come into our call and share his insights would be valuable to all. So with that said, hopefully we will have some time for some questions towards the end. So again, participate. That's how these calls are the most valuable. But with that said, Glenn, I'm going to pass you the screen. You're going to walk us through a presentation, and then we'll do some Q&A at the end.
That sounds great. Thanks, Dave. Does everybody see my first slide, I'm hoping?
I'll tell you when it comes up, my friend.
Okay. Because I had to X something out that came up on my screen, and all I'm seeing is my presentation. So.
Yeah, I am trying to give you the presentation. Hang on, let me try it one more time. So I have made you the presenter, but are you not seeing anything?
All right, we're good now. I think we're good. You got it?
I'm not seeing it. Hey, Jason, if you're on the call, oh, there we go. You're the presenter now. Go ahead and share your screen.
All right, you got me?
I don't see it yet, but as soon as I do, I will tell you. Have you clicked that button?
I've got you, Glenn. I can see your PowerPoint presentation. You look good.
Okay. Does everybody else see it?
Yes, sir.
Don't worry about everybody else. If Jacob said that you can see it, we can see it. Rock and roll, my friend.
Okay, good. Well, fabulous. Well, today we're going to talk about positioning ourselves from the comeback, and certainly with rates the way they are and the refi boom that's going, real estate agents are starting to make more money. It's starting to feel like the old times again from 2003. However, as I speak to mortgage people across the nation, especially managers, their biggest concern is we're getting consumed with handling refis, and we are forgetting the fundamentals, and the fundamentals especially being that realtor business, because when rates do go up, certainly the realtor business is going to have to be there, and certainly the realtor business is able to spur more refis as the cycle continues. So the title of the day is Position Yourself for the Comeback, and I'm going to try to help you guys understand how to position yourself with realtors, give you some real concrete ideas on how to grow your realtor business, become of more value. And I do this as a former broker who had, every day mortgage guys coming in my office and everyday mortgage guys and girls prospecting me for business. So here we go. Let me go ahead. There we go. Here's the question. Is it possible to become twice as productive in the same amount of time for the rest of the year? Is it possible? I'm not sure how many loans you've originated from January 1st to July 15th, but is it possible to become twice as productive in the same amount of time this year? I'm hoping that everybody's thinking in the affirmative, absolutely. I mean, anything is possible. And with some of the thoughts and ideas I'm going to share with you today, it may create the momentum, but I tend to be a guy that always looks at doubling. No matter how successful I am in real estate, the reason I sold 236 homes is because, number one, I believed I could do it, and I believed that I could always become twice as productive as I could from the get-go. So I just posed that question to you as a challenge that if you're interested in what I have to offer, I'm interested in helping you double your real estate business. There's a lot of mortgage coaches out there that are telling you to go cold call, cold call, cold call, and I'm one of those people that believes that cold calls are dead, and cold calls are not the way to generate business. Do they generate business? Yes. But what I've found is they make people feel like crap, and it's just not the way. The world has changed. It has a 98% rejection rate. It has a 100% interruption rate of the prospect, and 100% of the time, the prospect knows that you're selling. And the bottom line is people do not want to be sold in today's market. 100% of the time they feel uncomfortable and manipulated. And again, I share this with you is because this is how I feel when mortgage people come into my office and say, hey, you think you could hook me up with a loan? I don't feel like they're even prepared. We have LOs and mortgage people ask me for business all the time, and they don't even know me. There's no personal preparation about me, and they expect me to do business with them, and it blows my mind. Rejection is the biggest cause in sales turnover. If you're a manager out there listening and telling your people you need to cold call more to go get more mortgage business, I'm going to tell you that that's probably been the source and the biggest cause of you losing loan originators. Here's how we get realtor business. In order for you to attract realtor business, you must first be attractive. And the question is how am I being attractive to clients, and am I really attractive to realtors? So I'm going to give you a couple strategies that will make you more attractive to real estate agents. Number one, it's all about attitude. And when I consider the people that I want to do business with, the most important thing to me is their attitude. And I think loan originators, come in two forms. Those that want me to just give them stuff, and those that have the attitude of I want to help foster Glenn's business, I want to help him grow, and I want to help him contribute. So the bottom line is, what's your attitude? What do you think if you had to survey the realtors that aren't doing business with you, what would they say your attitude is? How are you putting yourself in a position to show what your attitude is? And most of all, is my attitude attractive? And I like this saying from Napoleon Hill is, you become what you think about all day long. The question is what do loan originators think about all day long? And, I talk to real estate agents about this too. Is it people giving me business, or is it me helping create value for my realtor partners? And how do I do that? I don't know what you think about all day long, but it's probably something that you should write down and you should take note of if you aren't already. The bottom line is attitude is contagious. And bad attitudes are contagious, and great attitudes are contagious. And very rarely do I see a great agent do business with a loan originator with a bad attitude. I do, however, see bad real estate agents that do business with loan originators with bad attitudes. And I do know that great attitudes of realtors tend to seek out and tend to find loan originators that separate themselves because of their positive attitude, their yes attitude, their can-do attitude, and the marketplace. No matter how successful I've been or how much money I make or how many homes I sell, every now and then, and actually I'm going to call it every day, I think you really need to check your attitude. I mean, attitude is something that's pursued daily. It's something that we work on daily at GB Unlimited, and it's something that is not to be underestimated. It is contagious. The question is, how contagious is yours? It provides real value to an agent and makes you attractive. When we talk about providing real value, we have LOs and mortgage people, when you just talk to them, you feel worse. You feel like you want to shoot yourself. And there are loan originators that have great attitudes, great insights on the market, and actually bring value because of their yes attitude. Oftentimes I always say, what's the number one factor when you're hiring a loan originator when I do management seminars? And they say attitudes, and they say, yeah, a person's attitude, no question, is probably the most important factor. And the question is, well, how much time do you spend on training attitude? So, this webinar is a little bit of training, but I know this, everything starts with attitude. But when we hire loan originators, or when companies hire loan originators, they train them all the time on, compliance issues and how to do good faith estimates and loan programs, but very rarely do loan origination companies and loan brokerages have a training system on attitude and or an ongoing platform where their LOs work every single day on their attitude. I just can't stress to you how important it is that you seek to improve your attitude every single day, and there's obviously a lot of different ways to do that. So the question is how's your attitude? And you just need to ponder and think about it. You know, how is my attitude really? And do I need work? And more importantly, how often do I work on my attitude? This is a real estate agent. A lot of real estate agents, this is their attitude towards loan originators. I would suggest to you that we don't want to work with a real estate agent with this attitude. When it comes to doubling your realtor referral business, what or how is your attitude? You know, my very first slide said, I'm interested in you doubling your business. The question was, what did you say? No way. I'm interested. I'm all about doubling my realtor business. You know deep down in your heart what your attitude was to that question. I just ask you to check that. What are you doing about your attitude? We've already brought that up. You know, what are you doing on a consistent basis to keep your attitude where it needs to be a top performer and to be attractive to real estate agents? And most of all, how would you define attitude? You know, how would you define attitude? It's a very tough question. And a lot of people don't know how to define attitude. And if I was in a live seminar, which is what I'm mostly used to, I would start having people give answers on how they define attitude. And hopefully as I'm doing this, you're thinking, how would I define attitude? Well, here's my definition. It's the way you dedicate yourself to the way you think. Quite simply, how are you dedicating yourself to the way you think? How are you dedicating yourself to the way you think about real estate agents? How are you dedicating yourself to the way you think about compliance? How are you dedicating yourself to the way you think about coworkers? How are you dedicating yourself to the way you think about refinances? How are you dedicating yourself to the way you think about increasing interest rates? How are you dedicating yourself to the way you think about your boss or your manager? It's all your attitude, and it's how you dedicate yourself. I'm sure everybody's seen this. It's not what happens to you. It's what you do with what happens to you that matters. And the question is what are you doing? I know that, you know, loan originators are, you know, you guys are dealing in a time where there's not much differentiation. Things are more streamlined. It's tougher to differentiate yourself from your competitors. So what are you doing with this new era of overcompliance, with this era of, you know, the loan origination game? Originating a loan is not what it used to be. Lance Armstrong certainly had some challenges, and he decided to do some things different. And now he's got even more challenges if you keep it up to date. But certainly he would serve as somebody that was at the mountaintop like we were in 2003. The walls came crumbling down with cancer. He decided to do something about it and climb back on the mountaintop. My question is how many people on our call were on the mountaintop in 2003 and haven't quite made it back yet? What I like to try to do is help people get back to that mountaintop. It's called resilience. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how resilient are you? Things are changing, and I think that's a valid question. You know, how resilient am I? Mother Teresa, extremely resilient, one of the most resilient people ever. I'm a big fan of hers. Resilience and attitude is all about you on the inside. You know, I was fortunate enough to work with people who actually worked hand in hand with Mother Teresa, and this was one of her favorite things. She always talked about, you know, resilience isn't manufactured. You know, it's something within you, and it is definitely tied to your attitude. Although we're all making money and rates are great and refis are big, it doesn't always last forever. And the question is after the crash, how resilient have you been, and is it time to get moving on? There's 3 keys for resilience. Understand that agents and income's credit scores may be lower than yours. So let me just back up to help you kind of understand what I was getting at. In order for you to call on real estate agents, you got to be resilient. That's kind of the point. And it's not easy doing what you're doing. I actually owned a mortgage company, and it wasn't fun. And trying to cultivate realtor business was not an enjoyable experience. And it created certainly a need for resilience. So that's what I kind of want to address right here is how am I going to be resilient when I'm calling on real estate agents? Number one, understand their income and credit scores are probably lower than yours. So as pompous as real estate agents can be and as arrogant as they may be, the average real estate income, the average income for a real estate agent is less than $35,000 a year, which means most real estate agents are making less than $15 an hour. And trust me, their credit scores are probably horrible. I always like to tell the joke that before you ever do business with a real estate agent, tell them that you want to run a credit check on them first. May not be a way to synergize, but certainly a way to understand who you're dealing with. Understand this, every no you hear from an agent is proof that you're performing the right actions and practicing the right habits. You know, when it's all said and done, even though I said cold calls are not the way to do business, and I agree with that, you're not going to get 100% of the people that say, hey, great, yeah, I just want to sign up and do business with you. Here's the point. If you're not hearing no, you're not talking to enough real estate agents. If you're not hearing no, you're not creating value or you're not putting yourself in a position to grow your business. I have some ideas on how to help you hear no more, and my goal is to help you hear no more. You know, the real estate agent or the loan originator that never hears no isn't talking to enough people, and chances are they're not doing enough business. Number three, it's your job, okay? To be resilient, it's your job. So you may as well just be resilient, put yourself in front of as many agents as possible, and start increasing your realtor business twofold. Strategy number two, stop begging, stop asking, and start earning. This looks like most LOs that come into my office. They're beggars and they're askers. And the bottom line is begging and asking aren't going to get you business. It may get you 2% return, but it's not going to get you what I'm getting ready to show you, a high rate of return on realtor business. So stop your begging, stop your asking, and get in the mindset of I'm going to start earning some business. And you won't have to be this LO anymore. So here's some lame attempts. Hopefully none of these people are on this call. My guess is they aren't. Glenn, I got your profile on LinkedIn. I know you have lending sources. One thing I don't understand is why do lenders who want my business constantly always say, I know you have lending sources? I would just throw that out of your dialogue. I would welcome the opportunity to outline what AMC Mortgage can do to help build your real estate business. Well, the bottom line is I'm a top producer that sells 100 homes, and there's not many loan originators that are going to help me design a plan to build my business. So when you talk and prospect top producers, it can be considered insulting for a loan originator to say, I'm going to help you build a business plan, because I already know my business plan. So I would suggest you don't approach it that way. I'm going to talk to you about 4 different types of real estate agents and give you approaches on how to engage those 4 different types of agents. This letter is not a good way to do it, right? That's how these guys act. Another lame attempt. Hi, Glenn, are you showing homes this weekend? I don't know this person. This is an email. Please have your buyers call me for a pre-approval. Meanwhile, here's a good article to pass along to your sellers. Now, I don't know who's out there training loan originators, but why in the world would a LO think that sending me this letter, I've never met this LO, that I'm just going to go ahead and have my buyers call him even though I don't know him? And then, furthermore, even pass along an article to my sellers when I don't know this guy. I mean, I'm hoping that you guys understand, and I'm guessing that some of you have maybe tried this approach. I don't know who trains this, but they're not getting my business. This is a great one. Hey, Glenn, I'm so happy it's spring. It's a great time of year, and the weather's warmer, and the people are outside having fun. Trees begin to bud, and I hope your spring is as good as mine. Wow, that's awesome. I may want to give this guy business. You can always feel free to call me about your mortgage or cash needs. I'm just here to help, and have a wonderful spring. And then he says, your relationship really means a lot to me. Right. His and my relationship means a lot to him. I've never talked to this person in person. He's never introduced himself to me in person. He has never given me any free gifts, but he's put me on an email list and told me that his relationship means a lot to him, or my relationship means a lot to him. If you're sending out lame emails like this, I would suggest you stop, because you're just really wasting your time, and I'd suggest you start focusing on some of the strategies that I'm going to give you in the future. Now, here's a great attempt, and things of real value. This is a guy from Fairway that is sending videos of value that talks about HOAs under litigation. I'm not going to play this for you, but this is a real tangible video that helped me understand. I happen to be out with a condo buyer, that I really need to check the HOAs and the financial stabilities of HOAs and the financeabilities of the condos that I'm doing. That's a great attempt. This is a great attempt to reach me through email. Video is a great way to connect with real estate agents. So here's the question. Yes.
Glenn, can I say something real quick?
Yes.
So everybody, I'll go as far as to say, if you're sending out emails like the one that Glenn just went through, you're not just wasting your time. You're killing your reputation. At the end of the day, you all want to build a personal brand, and a brand that stands for value, a brand that stands for I'm an expert, I have advice that makes a difference. So when you're just sending out what I would just consider noise, all that stuff is noise, and then the one that he showed you is signal. Oh, that's interesting. That's valuable. Be very cognizant. Go through everything that you're sending out to your clients and your realtors today and do the noise versus signal test. And be honest with yourself. Is this truly noise or is this truly signal, something of value and interest? So I just wanted 2 points that I want to make is, one, it's not just a waste of time. You're killing your brand of I'm a value provider by sending out nonsense and noise like that. Don't do it. Kill it. You're better off sending out one quality message a month than 4 pieces of noise a week. So anyways, I just wanted to jump in and make those points. Continue, Glenn. You're doing great. I'm loving this.
Awesome. Okay, and the only thing I would say, Dave, to piggyback on that, you use the term your realtors, and I think people have heard this before, but there's 2 different things. There's the realtors, which is how I'm feeling. I'm one of the realtors, versus your realtors. If you're mass mailing to realtors that you don't know personally, okay, then that's the realtors. If you are emailing only to your A-plus clients, people that you actually know or who know you, that is your realtors. So make sure, be careful how you term, oh yeah, those are my realtors, or I sent my realtors out a mass mailing of 1,000, but you know what, you only owe 89. It's kind of like the economy and your economy. I don't care about the economy. I do care about my economy. So it's kind of the same thing. So here's the deal. This has been up on the screen, and I hope some people have thought, what is the one-word definition of referral? There's probably no way for them to type it in. But I love asking this question because nobody has ever gotten it right in any seminar I do. But what is the one-word definition of referral? The question is, how many loan originators want to work on a referral-only basis? And what is the one word that would define that? This is huge. This might be the biggest thing that real estate agents and loan originators do not understand. Well, the one-word definition of referral is this. It's risk. It's risk. what people have trouble understanding is the reason I don't refer you to my buyers is because it's too risky. That's why, period. End of story. Agents, are agents willing to risk their relationship on you? Understand, real estate agents spend a month, 2 months, a year, 2 years developing a relationship with a home buyer or seller. And are they willing to take all that work, package it up, and dump it in your lap? Because if you screw it up, whether you know it or not, it comes back on us. And I think that's so important to grasp. And as you talk to real estate agents, one of the greatest things you can tell them is, Mr. and Mrs. Real Estate Agent, I understand that there's a risk involved in you referring your people to me, and I want to let you know that I want to eliminate that risk at all costs. Real estate agents don't even know it's a risk. But bring that up in your conversations. They're going to love it. Right?
One more thing I just want to put in. That's one of the reasons, speaking to that issue, it's so important that you're packaging success stories. You're taking success stories that have content and value. And again, I'm not just talking about fluffy testimonials. I'm talking about things where you save the borrower money and you successfully close the transaction. That's how you want to build your brand around, look, I provided the client was thinking about doing X. I came in, I did my total cost analysis. I recommended Y. The loan closed on time, under budget. The realtor got his commission check 1 week ahead of schedule. Cha-ching. That's the brand you want to build. So I just want to remind everybody, valuable success stories, not fluffy testimonials, are the way to, really build that brand that, crushes that risk.
And I think that's great. And the total cost analysis piece of that certainly will give agents more peace of mind and certainty in the transaction. So, that program that you guys promote and that platform, I think, is one of the best I've seen in the nation. So let's continue, if that's all right. Relationships remove the risk, okay? So what are your relationships with your real estate agents? And are they strong enough where people say there's no risk of doing business with me? But relationships remove it. Every time you ask for a referral, it's awkward for you and your customer. That's a tough one. People don't really get this. But the point is, you shouldn't have to ask for referrals. You should earn them. People should be so impressed with how you've dealt with them. Asking for them isn't needed. And trust me, when people ask you for referrals, don't you feel a little bit awkward? I can promise you, as a real estate agent, if an LO is great, they don't need to ask me. If they ask me, then I feel awkward. That's just the way it is. That's awkward. That's awkward. All right, so these are questions you should be asking. These are the questions you should be asking. How referable am I? I don't know. How referable are you? On a scale of 1 to 10, you might want to write it down. More importantly, how referable is the company that's behind me? Number 2, what have I done to earn the referral? Can you write down 1, 2, or 3 things right now? What have you done to earn the referral? And if it's, well, I take my realtor out and get him, hammered at a bar, I don't know if that really earns referral. I mean, inside the business, what are you doing to earn the referral, not outside the business? That's where the real value lies. My loan originators and I do not socialize. We don't, because I don't have time, and they do such a good job that they don't need to do anything for me on the outside of the business. They do everything for me on the inside of the business, and that's all I want. Do I interview my agents' customers and ask about their experience? My guess is very few of you do. The realtor refers you Joe and Mary home buyer. They close the transaction. After the closing, you call your realtor's customers and say, hey, I'd like to do a brief little interview with you about the service I've given you and the service your real estate agent gave you. Are you recording that interview? Can I film that, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer? And Mr. and Mrs. Buyer say, sure. And they go, you know what, my real estate agent was the greatest agent in the world. So now what? Are you encouraging the agent to let you post it on Facebook or on YouTube? So just imagine this. A realtor gives me a buyer. The buyers love the agent. I interview the buyers. They say that the agent that referred me is awesome. I go to that agent and I say, I'm building a YouTube channel for you of all the happy customers that you refer me. Would it be all right if I post this on YouTube about what a great agent you are? How many agents are going to say no to that? How many agents are going to give you every single buyer they have? Because agents don't have time to do this. Are you meeting with other agents and asking them why they refer loan originators? You know? So you may not have an agent in the bag, but the point is, are you meeting with other agents and asking them why they refer loan originators? I'm going to give you a great idea on how to get in front of a lot of agents to ask them this. Here's the problem. It requires hard work. And agents and loan originators alike will not do the hard work it takes to make sales easy. Let's say that one again. This one tactic, this is just one thing you could do. But it requires a lot of hard work, and agents and loan originators will not do the hard work to make sales easy because we want it now. We want to kill it, we want to eat it, and we want to move on. If you're wanting to build long-term relationships, if you're wanting to get realtor business once rates go back to 6, 7, 8%, now's the time to position yourself for the comeback. The comeback may be of higher rates. To become referable, you must lower your customer's risk and increase your value, your skills, your effort, and your solution. I'm going to give you some ideas on how to do that. Strategy number 3, become this person. Give to give. Don't give to get. And provide real value to your customers and to your real estate agents. I love this from Mother Teresa. There should be less talk, take a broom, and clean someone else's house. That says enough. You know, we all want to talk about what we can do and how we can make everything better, but sometimes we just need to pick up the broom, clean the other person's home, and walk away humbly. Actions obviously speak more than words. So let's talk about value delivery. There's 4 different types of agents, and I'm just going to run you through them real quick. There's the big producer, the beginning agent, and the disease. Value delivery for a big producer. Here's what I train. I understand what is called emotional intelligence, and I train on emotional selling. The bottom line is the reason people do what they do, they say what they say, they feel what they feel, it all comes down to emotions. And I'm going to give you the 6 drivers of emotion. And 2 of them, several of them will be outlined for you here in the beginning. So as a loan originator, what you want to do is meet the emotional needs of a real estate agent. I'm going to try to just help you understand at these 4 different levels of agents what emotional need you need to fill and how you need to fill it. Because as I said, the reason all of us do what we do is because of how we feel about what we know. It's because of our emotions. So for a big producer, the emotion that you want to focus on is significance and ego. I am a big producer. I love people that make me feel significance and stroke my ego. I get that. And so do all my other big producers. Understand, I had 175 agents, or 57 I think, that worked for me. My top producers all want their significance and ego stroked. We need to ask the question, how can I make them more significant in the marketplace? What are you currently doing to make your big producer clients, or if you have big producers you would like to get into your referral base, what are you doing to increase their significance in the marketplace? Well, I got some ideas for you. You need to investigate their social media profiles. Take some time, pull them up on LinkedIn, Facebook, see if they got a YouTube channel, and read about them and see what's interesting. you got to deliver memorable service. And when I mean memorable service, what I mean is, you know, we all expect a certain level of service. The question is what are you doing that's memorable after you facilitate a loan for a big producer? And it may be a great closing gift at the end. It may be out of this world communication throughout the process, but it's got to be something different. And what are you doing to do that? Ask them to chair a panel. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some events that we hold where you can take some top producing agents or one or two top producing agents that aren't using you right now and make them feel very significant and ego-driven during a lunch and learn on some of the events that we create. Get them news coverage. You know, I don't know, media is awesome, and people don't leverage media. Media can be free, but just imagine if you could be the person that gets a top producer on a local news station to be interviewed about the real estate market. I mean, trust me, that will get you loans. Increase followers and fans on Facebook. Take a social media course. Figure out how can I increase their presence on social media and help them with that. Maybe you do a seminar or invite them to a seminar that does that. You want to introduce...
Hey, Glenn, let me, a quick plug. Again, guys, this is just evidence of why real estate radio works so well to get meetings with the big dogs. And then I also wanted to put a shout out for Social Pro, for all you Mortgage Coach members that are using Social Pro. You've got to make sure you have a great social presence before you go out there and help your realtors get a great social presence. So just make sure you take inventory on that, whether or not that's your key focus or not. In today's marketplace, you know, everybody doesn't need to be a master guru, social marketing expert, but you've got to have a good, solid, professional social presence. So anybody who's on the call who does not have one, if you're not sure that you have one, give your account manager a call and have them walk you through Social Pro. Go ahead, Lynn. Sorry for the interruption.
Not a problem. Introduce them to other big shots. You know, if you have high-end clients and they're a high-end realtor, there's nothing wrong with you having some type of a business mixer of the most, you know, maybe it's 20 people, maybe it's 10 people, and you give a 10 to 12-minute presentation on jumbo loans, but figure out how to put them in touch with other big shot people. The bottom line is you got to develop these relationships slowly. Big producers are not going to be turned on right now. Now, the one thing you can do with a big producer is engage them immediately, but understand they'll take a little longer to cultivate. But the thing about a big producer is this: just like a great athlete, they don't like change. You know, great athletes don't like to change their socks. They wear the same socks, the same uniform. They're creatures of routine. And once you break in and engage them and then they give you a shot, their big producers are very slow to change who they're doing business with. But once you got them, they're very easy to keep. Here's an idea. Host or sponsor an event and make them a panelist or a participant or an honored guest at possibly a GB Unlimited event. My brief commercial is I hold real estate events around the nation for mortgage people. And what we try to do is I am the featured speaker. I have developed 2 real estate training systems. One's called Source of Sales for real estate. The other is called Stretch Training. And we create Source of Sales or Stretch events in different marketplaces. You invite, and we try to help you pack the room with 100 to 200 real estate agents. You become the sole sponsor of that. And I have basically a 6-hour training session. I do 3 to 4 hours in the morning. You do a lunch and learn, and at that lunch and learn, you can ask those big producers to be on a panel. And you stroke their ego. And you tell them, look, you guys are the top producers in the marketplace. And then you, as the loan originator, facilitate a lunch and learn with the top producer. They go on and on about all the things they do to become great. Lunch breaks. I finish them off with another 2 hours of sales content, and then we capture all the emails of your attendees. You get in front of 100 to 200 real estate agents and ask that if you can follow up and implement the strategies that I'm giving you today. So the GB Unlimited events are huge. They're successful, and it's a great way for you to get in front of 100 to 200 agents in person, belly to belly, delivering value. I promise the content, if you like the content you are listening to now, the stuff I have for real estate agents will blow them away. Next, you have the value delivery for a producer. So a producer is a guy that's doing 12 to 36 transactions, maybe 48 transactions. And these are not big producers yet, but they want to be. And with them, you want to focus on love and connection, a big human need. And you want to focus on contribution. You want to help them become a contributor to the marketplace. You want to ask the question, how can I help you connect with your customers more and increase their business development skills? So if I got a guy that's 12 to 36, look, everybody needs to be doing more business from 12 deals to 36 deals. I mean, 3 closings a month, it gives you an okay income, but it's not enough to survive. And you want to focus on helping them connect with their existing client base and giving them value for their existing client base, which will increase their referral base, which gets them up in numbers, or you want to help them increase their business development skills. You want to get them more likes and follows on Facebook and LinkedIn. You want to support, these are the agents that are out there slamming open houses. And I can't get into it, but there are things you can do to help a person with open houses. A lot of real estate trainers say open houses are a thing of the past and they don't work, and that's complete and utter BS. Open houses done properly, and that's part of our GB Unlimited, it's part of our source of sales training. Leverage open houses. Open houses are incredible. I know it's hard work, but it's hard work that will make sales easy. You would be surprised at the loyalty you will get from a producer by just doing a few simple tasks and helping them with an open house or an open house system for their Sunday afternoons. Here's the deal with producers and big producers, and this is tough. Be available all the time. Look, at the new 9 to 5 is 24/7, and that's just the cold, hard reality. We're in a total commission business. We get paid big fees, and if you're not available all the time, you're not going to work with big producers or producers. There's too many people that will do it if you don't. You need to ask yourself, am I really available all the time? Save the day by knowing more. Here's the thing. Producers need help. They need expertise with loans. You can help. Loan originators can help put deals together. Believe me. They can help put deals together. When it comes to a matter of monthly payments, buy downs, down payment assistance, gift funding, loan originators have expertise that can help us put them together. Let me just suggest this. This is a great idea. 10 things that most real estate agents don't know on how creative financing can put a transaction together. You come out with something like that, do a webinar or host an event, it'll be great. And I can help you with that. I mean, I already have it. And if you hold a GB Unlimited event, what I do is work with you and say, here are 10 strategies that the loan originator hosting this event has in their pocket that can help you put deals together. Look, I've put together thousands of transactions, and I know this. My LOs have helped me put those deals together because at a time in my career, they knew more than me. And let's be honest, they probably still do because that's not what I do. Put them in touch with a great contact management system. I am a big fan of Ace of Sales, which is a Jeffrey Gitomer contact management software program. Many of you may or may not know Jeffrey. Jeffrey's written 9 best-selling books on sales, attitude, trust. He wrote the Sales Bible. I'm one of his national speakers. They auditioned 700 speakers. I was fortunate enough to win the competition, and I go around and do his content for Fortune 100 companies. So, if you choose to do an event with me, I can assure you that I'm a member of the National Speakers Association. I will deliver for you on the platform. Get them one LinkedIn contact that they can benefit from. What a great goal. You know, one contact on LinkedIn, maybe once a month or once a week, that you know that real estate agent can benefit from, and do joint events with them. Again, host or sponsor an event, create the mastermind group. The mastermind group's great. So possibly at a GB Unlimited event. So you got your big producers at the GB Unlimited event. Now you got your midline producers. You're going to get their emails. You're going to get to know these people at this event. And then maybe you suggest, you know, would you be interested in creating a mastermind group of maybe 10 to 15 of you that are doing about the same amount of business, and then you become the expert, you facilitate those events, and even though they're all from different companies, you are helping that producer build their business, and all in the meantime becoming the leader for 15 producers that you could take to big producers, and, you know, developing that relationship. You want to talk about business growth ideas at these mastermind events, and maybe it's a once-a-quarter deal. Low pressure, but you're belly-to-belly with these people at our events, and the thing is that at the event, you know, you do need to be somewhat aggressive, but we get all their information as they come in the door. There's ways to have title companies sponsor it. There's different sponsorship opportunities that can help you pay for it as well. So again, great value delivery for that. Webinars are nice, but man, there's nothing like face-to-face contact to get people rolling. Let's talk about what I feel is the biggest opportunity for loan originators, and that's the beginning agent. And beginning agents want you to focus on the emotion of certainty. These people are a very uncertain state, and the idea of growth. We want to focus on certainty and growth with the beginning agent. You want to ask the question, how can I help develop your habits, your skills, and support their attitude? Okay? That's your main focus for the beginning agent. So you have 3 different types of agents that you need to approach 3 different ways. And the biggest problem I see with LOs is they approach a top producer with the same mantra that they would a beginning agent. And all that does is piss the top producer off. Or they target a beginning agent and give them all the top producer stuff, and the beginning agent can't handle it because they know they're not that good. So I would suggest that you try to, as you're going after realtor business, quantify where does this person fit, and understand the beginning agent can give you more business than anyone, because chances are they're prospecting more, they're seeing more people, and they're going to be loyal because you're going to give them the certainty that they're looking for. Value delivery, consistently train them on the how-tos. I mean, these are people that you could meet with once a week. Get to know their sales managers. One thing I haven't told you is the most important person in a real estate office for an LO is a sales manager. Now, I understand this. A lot of real estate companies have in-house mortgage people. We have strategies to get around that. But if they don't have an in-house mortgage person, you need to become the in-house mortgage person. And you do that by offering tons of training. Work cost estimate sheets for all buyers. That gets back to, you know, the total cost analysis and working that system. But the bottom line is you cannot close a buyer unless we know monthly payment and minimum monthly down. A great thing you can do, this is just awesome stuff for real estate agents. Go find their listings and call a real estate agent and say, are you aware of what the minimum monthly payment would be on the home you have listed? 9 out of 10 won't know, which is terrible. And the point is if you help a real estate agent understand on a 1-year adjustable FHA ARM or a 723, whatever the lowest possible rate you can get on a listing, and say this is the minimum monthly payment you can get somebody into, will that help them sell that listing? Absolutely. Will they value you? Absolutely. And here's the minimum amount of cash. I train real estate agents. You should always know 2 things about your listing. What's the minimum monthly payment somebody can own this for? What's the minimum cash investment I must get to sell this property? 9 out of 10 agents don't know it. It's sickening. It's disgusting. You want to build value, you want to be an expert, then that's what's going on. I'm telling you, work that. Just call these agents and ask them. They'll love you for it. Quick turnaround on pre-approvals. That's, you know, who you work for. Teach them how to prospect for first-time buyers. Hey, work FSBOs with them. I mean, I can give you an hour on working FSBOs with them. My God, FSBOs need a loan too. So, you know, agents don't call for sale by owners, and that's stupid. And LOs don't call for sale by owners, and that's stupid. I had a for sale by owner prospecting program when I started in the business. You know, I was working 20 to 30 by owners at a time. 10 of them would hold open houses. I would teach them how to get names, numbers, and email addresses. I would go to their properties after their open houses, and I would collect 20 to 30 buyer leads every Sunday evening. You can do that as an LO, Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so. I understand you visited the for sale by owner at 123 Main Street. I'm just wondering if you've been pre-approved for a loan. Would you like to be pre-approved for the loan? Do you know the 3 biggest mistakes people make when they are shopping for a loan? You know, and then hold a first mortgage loan seminar or whatever. I mean, for sale by owners, it's ridiculous. If you're not working by owners, you're throwing money down the tube. But here's the problem. We're all too busy doing refis, and I get it. So maybe you need to look at hiring somebody to do your refis and go out and cultivating this business. But the bottom line is with these new people, you want to talk to them about the long term. You want to host or sponsor an event, facilitate a new agent group out of that event, have monthly meetings on how to generate new business. Again, possibly you could do this at a GB Unlimited event. I'm not going to give you a commercial on what my events look like and what they are, but I will tell you if you're interested, hit me on Facebook or just email me, gbill@gbunlimited.com. You can follow me on Twitter if you want to follow me, and that's at Mr. Gbill, MRGBILL, at Mr. Gbill on Twitter. GB Unlimited has a website, and you can always find me on Facebook at Glenn Bill. So reach me however you want to reach me. I'll give you my cell phone, too, if you want to talk, 317-590-7757. Again, it's 317-590-7757. All right, so the fact is this. When we talk about new agents, there are nearly 50 million people between the ages of 18 and 29 years old in America. That is one hell of a market coming our way. These people are buying homes, and you got a pool of 50 million to go from. I will touch on this as we're winding down. I call them diseased agents. Bottom line is these are agents you do not want to do business with. You do not want to do business with diseased agents. You want to ask the question, how can I tactfully not do business or spend time with this person? Don't attend their Thirsty Thursday parties. Tell them that their buyers don't qualify. Ask them to come to group training because they'll never show up. Leave them on their own and do not support them. Become fascinated with them instead of frustrated. Get in the office early and late because they'll never be there. And ask them to do something that takes hard work because they'll never do it. I have a whole system on how not to do business with certain agents, and definitely do not invite them to a GB Unlimited event. Strategy 4, understand value perceptions and the do's and don'ts of referral business. But at this point, I'm out of time, so I'll see you at our next marketing call. In closing, your attitude is the key. Hard work earns referrals, and delivering values will slam the door shut with just the customer and you in the room. It equals loyalty. Hey, it's all about your attitude, baby. I've enjoyed our time. I hope you guys have gotten something from this. And if you have time for Q&As, I got about 5 or 10 minutes, and if not, we can end it.
So, Glenn, first of all, you have been awesome. I've been re-energized by your message. We've got to do a call with our entire database to our entire community, not just keeping this in the mortgage coach community. So I will be in touch with you to have you again. We really do, out of respect for everybody's time, they mark their calendar. So what I'd like people to do, if you have some questions, put them on the Mortgage Coach Facebook page. And Glenn, if you could, 1, do your best to just keep an eye on that. And then 2, I'm going to be bringing Glenn back into a coaching call. You know, I saw him speak at Fairway. I've got to know even better. I've got a lot of vision on how we can deliver value to the marketplace together. So thank you for taking time to prepare for the call. Thank you for doing a great job of inspiring and educating our group. I look forward to our next session. Again, everybody, have a great week. Stay focused, and make sure if you have any questions, post them on the Mortgage Coach Facebook page. So this call is a wrap. Have a good one, Glenn.
Thank you, guys. Be good. Take care.
Take care, Ray.